Alright, hey guys, I just wanted to go over this week's DeltaMath assignments that you have to do and just run through a couple of the questions to make sure you understand how to do it. First and foremost, you'll go into your DeltaMath account and go to upcoming assignments, and then there are 2 assignments that are there. Please follow the week at a glance as far as for when to do these and complete them, because they are in a particular order so you don't feel overwhelmed. They also are because you guys asked for more practice last week, so I just wanted to give you an option to do that in a different form as well as paper practice problems and Google Forms. So I'm just going to go through and do a couple of questions from each assignment. You will all have different questions, and the goal is to get 10 of them right. Even if you get some wrong, what DeltaMath will do is have you complete enough problems so that you have 10 of them right. So like you might end up doing 13 or 14 problems total because you got 3 or 4 of them wrong. So all you're going to do is, this is the assignment, and you're going to click on the topic. And then you're going to identify which type of function is graphed below. So they're linear, cube root, exponential, square root. So this one's linear, so I'll go ahead and submit my answer. Yes. And it gives me a little green check mark, so I've completed 10% of the assignment because I've gotten 1 out of 10 correct. And then it will also kind of show you this is a linear function and the incorrect answers as well. Then you hit next problem and you can do it again. So on this one, let's see, this one's a tricky one because it looks like an exponential function, but it's going down. And that's okay because an exponential function could have exponential growth or exponential decay. So this is still an exponential function. If you went through and you got one wrong, so let's say we just panicked and we forgot what this one was and you hit exponential. If you submit your answer, it'll tell you your answer is not correct and then try to find your mistake. You will always have 2 attempts, at least 2 attempts at questions. So then I could be like, oh, I know it's not exponential. I know that's linear. Silly me. And then you could get it right. I really want to be able to find you a particular question, so bear with me for a second. Wow, this homework is going to be really easy for you guys if all it does is give you linear problems. The only one that I'm trying to find is if they have a cube root function. Remember, a radical function is a square root as well. Alright, well, they just might not have a cube root function, so I'll just show you. Cube root is always going to be one of your answers, or one of your options, or it could be. And a cube root function looks like, follow my arrow right now, it looks like this. So it'll kind of go off to the side, curve down through the middle, and then go up to the other side. So if you see that function and you're just like, what the heck, we haven't talked about that one. That one's cube root. It doesn't pop up very often, which is why we haven't included it in our function families. But again, it'll be kind of straight and then curve through the middle and then straight again. Alright, the other type of assignment you have to do later this week is you have to complete linear, quadratic, or exponential from a table. So all you'll do is click on the category, and then it's just going to ask you which type of function is shown in the table below, linear, quadratic, exponential, or not a function. So again, this is where you just do your differences. So like 9 to 16, I'd have to add 7. And then 16 to 25, I'd have to add 9. 25 to 36, I'd have to add 11. So my first differences aren't all the same. And then, let's see, I can't multiply by the same thing, right? 9 times something does not give me 16 very nicely, and from 16 to 25 it's not the same. And so the last thing you want to try is quadratic, or sometimes it's the second thing you try. It's your order, you decide what you want to do it in. So I'd already decided my first differences were 7, 9, 11, and 13. So actually all of my second differences would be 2, because the difference between 7 and 9 is 2, and the difference between 9 and 11 is 2. So this is actually a quadratic table. And if you're still confused as to how I got that or do that, even if you do this problem wrong, it'll go down and give you an explanation for it. So the rate of change isn't constant, so it's not linear. And it says the rate of change is constantly plus 2. So this is just talking about your first difference and then your second difference. So we can go ahead. For this next one, it looks like it subtract 5 And then subtract 5 more, and then subtract 5 and subtract 5. So that one would be linear. And so on and so forth. Oh, wait. What the heck, you guys? How did I get that wrong? So minus 3 minus 5. Or, excuse me, minus 3 to minus 8 is minus 5. Minus 8 to minus 13 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then minus 13 to minus 18. Well, I don't know. Oh, they messed it up with the x's. Oh my goodness, look at that. They're so tricky. Remember, your x values always have to be in order. So it has to go, like this should be 1. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So this is not a function. And you want to know why? Because look, you have 2 x values that are repeated that go to different y values. So throw back to our first lesson. They also will provide you, right? Look, this is not a function because 3 shows up twice as an input and has 2 different outputs. I wasn't even thinking about that. So, well, I hope you enjoyed my super helpful video. But this is, if you have any problems on the DeltaMath assignment, or like you just think it's being funky, come to my office hours this coming week, or email me, or send me a quick chat, or a remind, or any of the ways you can communicate with me. All right, thanks, guys.